Hello everyone, Alicia here with another lightened up Weight Watcher friendly recipe, and today I am going to be doing sheet pan crispy Parmesan baked chicken with veggies. Now I love the sheet pan meals. They're so easy, they have easy prep, easy cleanup, and I have several of them on my channel already. I saw this recipe for the crispy Parmesan baked chicken though, and I knew it was one that I wanted to do. And so that is what I'm doing today. I will be sure to have the original recipe that I'm gonna be using as inspiration for this down below in the description box, and you can check that out if you want. But this one just sounds really good. I love finding different ways to make chicken a little less boring. And so I wanted to share this one with you guys. But let me first jump into ingredients and I'll show you what you're gonna need to make it. First off, for the chicken in this, I've got 3 pounds, 3 large breasts here. And I'm gonna be doing a marinade for that. And for that, you are gonna need some minced garlic. I've got 4 cloves here. Some fresh parsley. I've got a couple tablespoons in here. I'm gonna be using a tablespoon for the marinade, and then I'm gonna reserve the other tablespoon or so to put on top of this once it's done. You're also gonna need 2 large eggs, a medium to large lemon that you're gonna juice, a ½ teaspoon salt. You're also gonna need salt for the veggies as well, ½ teaspoon black pepper, and again, you're gonna need the black pepper for the veggies. And that is everything for the marinade. For the coating on this, I'm gonna be using a cup of panko breadcrumbs and 2/3 cup grated Parmesan cheese. As for the veggies in this, you can do whatever you want. I really like to do roasted potatoes with my different chicken sheet pan dinners, and I always typically do them the same way. So what that is going to be is I've got 1.5 pounds of baby red potatoes there, and then you're going to need a tablespoon of olive oil, a teaspoon Italian seasoning, a teaspoon granulated garlic, and then, as I mentioned before, a little bit of salt and pepper. And again, this is how I always do my roasted potatoes. I just really like how they turn out. Next up, I've got some fresh green beans here, 1 pound. But again, you can do whatever type of veggie you like. I've done these sheet pans with broccoli. Most of the time it's with broccoli because we really like broccoli, but zucchini, cauliflower, whatever you want to use, you can use, but you're gonna need about 1 pound of another vegetable. And so again, with these, I'm gonna be adding a little salt, pepper. You're also gonna use a little bit of the granulated garlic for the green beans as well. And then finally, I'm gonna be spritzing them with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm also going to be spritzing my chicken once it's breaded with a little bit of olive oil as well. So that is everything that you're gonna need. As always, I'll have all the instructions and ingredients listed down below. If that got a little confusing on what you're gonna need for everything, all that info is gonna be down below. But that is everything you're gonna need for this, so let me get it started. The first thing I'm gonna do is get my marinade going, because you're gonna wanna let this marinate for at least a ½ hour. And so in a small bowl, I'm gonna add in my 2 eggs, my ½ teaspoon salt, ½ teaspoon or so black pepper, my garlic, tablespoon parsley, and my fresh lemon juice. Now I'm gonna just whisk that all together really well. Okay, now I'm gonna set that aside. Now I'm gonna take my chicken breasts and I'm gonna cut them in half lengthwise. And this is just because these are so big that if I don't, they're gonna take forever to cook. So this is gonna shorten the cooking time, and it's also going to make it to where I can get the 6 servings that I'm looking for. Now that I've got those cut, I'm just gonna take a fork and I'm gonna just pierce all of my chicken with it, and that is just gonna allow that marinade to seep in there a little better. All right, now I'm gonna take a Ziploc bag and I'm gonna put my chicken breast in there. Now I'm gonna take my marinade, pour that on my chicken, seal that up, and just kind of make sure that marinade's getting on all of my chicken. Okay, now I'm gonna put this in my fridge, probably on a plate in case it leaks, for at least a half an hour to an hour to let that have a chance to marinate a little bit. The longer the better, really. So you could even do 4 hours if you have the time to do that. I'm probably gonna just do a half hour, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my fridge and then I'll be back. So while that chicken is marinating, I'm gonna get my potatoes ready. So for those, I just simply cut them in half. If they need to be cut a little smaller than that, if they're bigger, I should say, I'll cut them in thirds. But these, I'm just gonna do half. And I did wash these up really well. Now I'm gonna take those and I'm gonna add them into my large bowl here. I'm gonna add a tablespoon olive oil, teaspoon granulated garlic, and there's about a teaspoon of my Italian seasoning left in here. So I'm gonna add that on. A little bit of black pepper, about a quarter teaspoon. And about a quarter teaspoon salt. Now I'm gonna just toss those and make sure they all get nice and coated. I've got those all coated, so now I'm gonna grab myself a sheet pan, a large or a half sheet size here. And I'm gonna just line it with some parchment paper. And then I'm gonna pour my potatoes on one side. Just kind of spread those out, but keeping them on the one side. Okay, now I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna get my breading ready for the chicken. So for the coating or breading on this chicken, I've just got a shallow bowl here, which is gonna make it easier to dredge my chicken. So to that, I'm gonna add my cup panko and my 2/3 cup grated Parmesan. And I'm gonna just mix all of that together. Okay, and now it has been about a half hour, so I'm gonna get my chicken out and we'll get it dredged. Okay, I've got my chicken here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take each piece, kind of dredge it in my breading. So we're just pressing it down to get it fully coated. And then I'm gonna lay the chicken in the middle of the pan here, right next to my potatoes. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and then I will come back. So I got those all on there and I had a little extra breading, cheese mixture left, so I'm just kind of sprinkling that on top of these just so it doesn't go to waste. And I also have my oven preheating to 400 right now. Okay, so I've got that on there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give my chicken a little spritz with some olive oil. Okay, and now this is ready to go into the oven for 15 minutes, and that's just gonna give the chicken and the potatoes kind of a head start on the cooking process because the green beans don't take as long. Also, I did wanna point out, again, this is a half sheet size. If you have a bigger sheet, it will probably work a little better. I have a little bit of trouble fitting all my stuff on my half sheet pan, but that is the biggest size pan I can fit in my oven, unfortunately. I have a really small oven now, so I can't fit my bigger sheet pan in there. So I have to kind of cram everything on this smaller one. But if you have, like I said, a larger sheet pan and a larger oven, I should say, I would recommend a little bit bigger sheet pan than what I'm using. So again, I'm gonna put this in my oven for 15 minutes. I will be back at that point because we're gonna flip this chicken and then add the green beans. So I'll see you in about 15. Okay, sorry about my lighting first off. The sun is shining right through the window there. I let that cook for 15 minutes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip my chicken over. I'm gonna use these tongs to make that a little bit easier. Now I'm gonna spritz that side with a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm gonna take my green beans and I'm gonna just put as many as I can get on here next to my chicken. I'm gonna just salt them a little bit. And pepper. Sprinkle a little bit of garlic on them. And then finally spritz them with a little bit of olive oil. Okay, now I'm gonna put this back in my oven for another 10-20 minutes. Basically what I'm looking for is these veggies to be cooked, and more importantly, the chicken to reach an internal temp of 165. So I'll be back at that point and show you what it looks like. I let this cook another 20 minutes. It is done. I temp checked the chicken and it is above 165. So that's good. And the veggies are nice and cooked as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cool down a little bit, and then I'm going to get it all meal prepped up, and I will show you what points are, and then we'll also give it a taste. I've got these all divided up and meal prepped, and as you see them here, they are going to be 4 points a piece, which I don't think sounds too bad at all. There's a lot of protein there, so it should keep you full for not a lot of points. So we will give the chicken a taste, since this is the first time I've made that, and let you know what we think of it here. Okay, I've got my husband here. He's gonna give that chicken a taste. I will say right off the bat, it is not as crispy as I would have hoped it would have been. It's a little bit, I don't want to say soggy, but I would say to fix that, the last part of cooking, bump the heat up. And sorry, my cat's meowing down there. To bump the heat up to 425, and that might make that a little bit crisper than it is.
So the chicken's got like a, what is that, lemon?
Yes, it's got a lemon marinade on it. Mm-hmm. Can you taste that?
Oh yeah.
I poked the chicken with the fork so it'd get in there a little bit better. Since I was only doing a 30-minute marinade, especially.
Cook my chicken with a
fork. Well, what do you think of the taste? I've already commented that I think it's maybe not as crisp as I would like.
No, it's really good. I mean, I'm really focused on like the lemon flavor.
Okay.
It's really brightened up the chicken.
You like that?
Yeah. I'm not sure I can really, I mean, excuse me. The breading does have kind of a nutty flavor. Mm-hmm. It's real subtle.
Okay,
which is fine.
Can you taste the Parmesan at all? That's probably the nutty flavor you're talking about, actually, is the Parmesan.
Probably is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't know. I don't think it would have necessarily been able to figure that out.
Okay. But good flavor. Can you cut me just a tiny little piece?
No.
Of the chicken?
Yeah, no, I can tell. That's similar to that, what is that, the Pioneer Woman's chicken?
Yes.
It's got all the cheese on it.
Which is absolutely delicious.
Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of that.
If I remember to link that, I will link that. That's probably one of my all-time favorite ways to do chicken now. But I'm always looking for new ways because, you know, chicken can get boring, as I said originally. The lemon does.
Yeah.
Yummy. And that's kind of the almost prominent thing I'm getting from that is the lemon.
Yeah.
Which is very nice and bright. It's good. I'm getting the breading on the back end more, which is interesting.
Might be the nuttiness. Could be the tang.
Could be. I don't know. That's pretty good. 4 points. What do you think for 4 points?
Oh, totally.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a nice little variation.
Yes.
To throw in.
That's what I'm saying. Because again, we eat all.
Take the fork back.
Yes. Okay. Fine. You can have your fork back. I wonder why you're looking at me. I got your fork held hostage. We eat so much chicken that it is always nice to just kind of rotate out different ones. So I like that for sure. And I love the sheet pan dinners in general, or meals in general, because they're so easy to just kind of throw everything on a pan, and then the cleanup's real easy too. So definitely like that about it. I will try and remember to link some of my other sheet pan meals that I've done in the past.
Yeah, these are some, I love the sheet pan meals.
I've got different chicken ones too. Anyways, that was a sheet pan crispy Parmesan baked chicken. I will, as always, have the full list of ingredients, instructions, points, WW recipe builder link, other nutritional info. All that's going to be down in the description box below. So be sure to check down there if you're interested in this one. But thank you as always for watching, and we will see you on the next one.